Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel, My Life Adventures. I'm Michelle, and today I have something new. So for the last 3 months, I've been teaching my cat how to use the toilet. Okay, so let's get some background. Mr. Clarence Whiskers found me in January 2020. He was outside my house meowing, and apparently someone abandoned him, and since then he's been with me since. Now this cat, let me give you full disclosure. This cat is very, trying to find the word, mild-tempered. He's not moody, he's not sensitive to noises or sounds, or really he's not sensitive to anything. He will sprint up to strangers, he's extremely friendly. So this cat I felt like was a great candidate to try to teach or train how to use a toilet. Okay, so let me walk you around and show you where he is kind of located and what the plan was. Hey, buddy. Hi. This is Mr. Clarence Whiskers. He's just chilling on my little couch thing right now. Hi. This is his room, the bathroom, closet area, and his toilet. Okay, so for the last maybe 4 months, I would say his training for this started about 4 months ago. I would say that because Clarence and I were on an adventure. I was at school, we were living out of our van, my camper van, and I just had a bucket, basically a bucket with a little cover as my emergency toilet, but that's where I put his cat litter. So I noticed occasionally Clarence would sit on the edge of the bucket, like as if he was sitting on a toilet seat instead of putting his paws inside the litter. And at that point I was like, ooh, that is perfect. So I started to reward that behavior. Whenever he sat on the toilet or the fake emergency toilet in my van like that, I would pet him, I would give him some treats, I would praise him for using the bathroom like that. So that lasted about 8 weeks. 8 weeks of just, letting him use the bathroom, and whenever he did it the way he would need to on the toilet, I praised him. Here's an example. So that is how he was sitting on the edge of my little emergency bucket in the van. So when I moved into my house, the first thing I did was I took the liner that I had with his normal clay clumping cat litter, and I put it in my toilet. So I just led him to it, he sniffed it out, I left all his old litter in there so it had his scent, and he reliably used it, no issues. So at first he would still, go inside, step around, and but he was fine, he would use the toilet, but it had a plastic bag full of the clay clumping litter. So that wasn't going to work. So what I did next was I purchased a little tin baking pan, and I bought some flushable like corn litter, and I put it in there, and then I took a clump, this is TMI, a clump of his like clay clumping litter, like a clump of the urine that clumps up into the hard clay clump. I took one of those and I put it inside the tin with the new corn litter, just so that they would have some sort of scent in there from him that he's used to, so that the new litter wouldn't throw him off. So once I did that, I did that for about a week, and then I started cutting a little hole in the middle. So if you're squeamish, the only picture I have of it is one that I have with a turd in there. So I'm going to insert that now, and I hope you're not squeamish. So gradually, I would slowly increase that hole size. I took about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks before I increased the hole size at all. If I increased the hole size too big, I made sure I left like a clumped up piece of old litter in there, or something that was familiar, so that the changes wouldn't deter him. So here is a clip of him using the bathroom. As you can see, he kind of still puts his paws in there, so that's something that he'll have to learn to do as time, learn not to do, excuse me, as time goes on. Here you go. So Mr. Whiskers here is doing a number 2. As you can hear in the background, his pellets are hitting the aluminum pan, so that can be kind of startling if your cat is a sensitive cat. So make sure you take that into consideration. You might want to put more litter. I'm praising him a lot here just to make sure he did a good job. Later on, I started giving him a whole can of wet food, which he rarely gets. So just give your cat the praise he needs to know that yes, that was a good job.
Good.
So right now, we are about, I would say about 80% trained. So here's the toilet situation right now. It's just a little bit of the pan left in there. So my plan from now is to leave the pan in there and just kind of fold up the sides. So the sides will have a little bit of litter in it, but I will still be able to use my toilet because I haven't been able to use my toilet during this training process. I just go outside and use a different bathroom. So this has been an adventure, but it has not been without its challenges. Clarence had 2 mistakes or accidents since we started this. The first time, I was moving in, I had my suitcase with all my clothes open, and Mr. Clarence Whiskers decided to urinate in my suitcase. So that was a challenge. In addition to that, one time I was adjusting his toilet box, making the hole a little bigger, and I guess at that moment he had to go number 2, so he went and took a poop on the floor. So, this process is new for him. It's a whole new process. So I tried my best not to get upset, even though he just urinated in all of my clothing, which, I don't know if you've ever smelled cat piss in clothing, but it is not pleasant. But, I tried my best not to show him that I was upset and to make sure I made the bathroom and using the bathroom in front of me a pleasant experience. So I expect a few more challenges, but I will keep you guys updated with the final product in the next couple of weeks. You should be expecting a video from me, and hopefully one day I'll be able to get him on full video using the toilet again, but the toilet being a plain toilet. So I'm just going to show you the setup really quickly. Again, I'm going to run you through it, and I'll show you how I can just flush the toilet. Okay, so this is the toilet. There's a little bit of litter on the sides, and I gradually increase that, and then I just flush it. So as you can see, the pan is a little higher than the toilet, so he just goes in the toilet and I flush it. It doesn't smell, it's so much more sanitary. Every week or so I open it up, take it out, scrub down the toilet, make an adjustment or 2 to the pan, and then put the seat back down, and he's ready to go. I hope this video was helpful and gave you some ideas of how you can start maybe training your cat to use a toilet. I will say that this has been a little bit challenging, but it's well worth it. I don't have to clean a litter box anymore. I just flush the toilet and we're good to go. But like I said before, my cat is very low maintenance and very desensitized to a lot of things. So if you have a skittish cat or an older cat, or a cat that is more squeamish to things like loud noises, scare or startle him or her, you might have to move a lot slower. I was just lucky enough to have Mr. Clarence, who is very, very low maintenance. But if you have any questions, leave them below, and hopefully you found this video helpful, informative, and interesting. Check back in a couple weeks and I'll show you where we are at with our training progress. But so far, so good. If you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you next time.